Customer level services. Even though an agent's primary responsibility is to the principal, the agent also has the duties to third parties. Anytime a licensee works with a third party or a customer, the licensee is responsible for adhering to state and federal consumer protection laws as well as the ethical requirements imposed by professional associations and state regulators. An agent's primary responsibility is to the principal, and Illinois courts have long held that the contractual principal-agent relationship,
there we go,
as defined in a listing agreement or buyer-agency agreement, gives the seller or the buyer a cause of action against the licensee who breaches her fiduciary duties to the client. The courts have not demanded fiduciary duties to third parties. However, Illinois license law licensees owe to
Grexis, you've led me to a world with a full-scale demonic outbreak and no cavalier in the docks. Explain.
They must have changed her name.
And how are you planning to fight her?
Trust old Grexis, Inquisitor.
Grexis, you seem to be oddly untroubled by recent events.
My unrelenting devotion to the Emperor keeps my spirits high.
That and your bottles of Amassac.
We all cope in our own different ways.
Yeah.
I want to live to serve the Imperium.
How many people really have common sense, though? Or at least, you know.
I barely have any, but I know being honest is a good one.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I don't have great common sense, but
I don't think that's a common sense thing,
but
though.
anytime it's like, as long as you're not breaching confidentiality, like, you can be honest.
Well, yeah.
Like, I mean, it sucks. Sometimes you're not gonna want to be honest because it would work in your favor to not be honest. Like, I get that too. But like, at the end of the day, it's kind of like when I was saying with cheating, somebody's gonna find out either way. So if you're dishonest, they're gonna find out you're dishonest.
Yeah.
And you could sit there and be like, oh, I didn't know, but you're a piece of shit then. And then you're lying about it, you're fucking dishonest.
Your douchebaggery.
Yeah, you're lying about how licensees are to treat all customers honestly. They cannot negligently licensing. Like, literally, they just said the same thing in 2 sentences, but okay. Finally, licensees must disclose all adverse material facts about the physical condition of the property to customers that are actually known by the licensee and that could not be discovered by a reasonable, diligent inspection of the property by the customer. In Illinois, licensee may be held liable to a seller or a buyer if the licensee represents material facts about a property and if the seller or the buyer suffers monetary loss through reliance on these statements. Did you just have a realtor, Jeremy?
Yeah.
You have a realtor?
Mm-hmm. Why? Are you gonna say it was a shitty one? Okay.
I don't know. It just sounds like if anyone was really shitty, it was the inspector for cutting holes in your shit.
Oh, it was more than just him cutting holes.
I literally read what inspector's duties are, and it's definitely not to fucking physically fuck with the property and lower its value.
Yeah, well, and then the other thing was, like, when I had contractor work done on the roof, he came up and told me, he's like, yo, did you not, like, what's up? Did the house inspector not see this and shit? And I was like, nah, I didn't even know about it. And he's like, yeah, this is illegal, number one. And number two, like, they shouldn't have let this fly in any way, shape, or form. But it goes back to that whole,
Definitely, if you would have stayed within the 5 years of buying a house, you could probably do them.
yeah, see, I didn't know all that. Nobody told me these things.
They're praying that you let 5 years go by without something to do with it.
Yeah, and that's what happened. That sucks.
Finally, licensees must disclose all
I see signs of a desperate battle. Somebody really wanted to protect this rock station. I'll check the logs.
Known by the licensee and that could not be detected by reasonable diligent protection of the property by the customer. In Illinois, a licensee may be held liable to a seller or a buyer if the licensee misrepresents material facts about a property, and if the seller or
I
the
have
buyer
found
suffers
records.
It must have been-
monetary loss through reliance on these statements. The licensee's loyalty to the principal is no defense, even though the principal may have ordered the agent to represent. Licensees have a duty to prospective sellers and buyers to disclose all material information within their knowledge.
I can't silence the alarm. I'll face some serious resistance. Not that I've played. The soothing sound of silence.
Furthermore, liability may be imposed when the licensee is aware of facts that tend to indicate she is making a false statement. For example, if the seller tells this agent licensee that the roof was replaced last year, and the agent has good reason to believe that statement is untrue, the licensee should attempt to ascertain the ask the correct information from the client. However, if the client provides false information to the licensee did not have knowledge that the information was false, or the licensee has not acted negligently, the licensee will not be held liable to the customer. Licensees who attempt to avoid liability to buyers through induced belief or
Excapulary.
What were you thinking?
No.
I will accompany you.
With all due respect,
Exculpatory clause in the sales contract will probably be unsuccessful. Illinois courts have ruled that a contract cannot eliminate the rights given to a consumer via the law. Creation and termination of agency. Creation of agency. An agency relationship may be based on a formal agreement between the parties, in parentheses, express agency, or it may result from the parties' behavior implied. Express agency, a principal and agency express contract, also called an express agreement, in which the parties formally express their intention to establish an agency relationship and state its terms and conditions. The agreement may be either oral or written. An agency relationship between a seller and a sponsoring broker is generally created by the sponsoring broker or is generally created by a written employment contract, commonly called a listing agreement, which authorizes the sponsoring broker or designated licensee to find a buyer or a tenant for the owner's property. An express agency relationship between a buyer and a sponsoring broker is created by a buyer.
how are you faring out there, Inquisitor?
Similar to a
Did you find your contacts, Grexis?
Waiting for my security screening. These highborn captains are a suspicious lot.
Or designated licensee in finding the appropriate property for person or implied agency. An agency also may be created by implied contract. This occurs when the actions of the licensee indicate that the licensee has formed an agency relationship with a party, even though the licensee may not have consciously planned to create an agency relationship. Parties can create one unintentionally, inadvertently, or accidentally by their action. Example: buyers enter a real estate office as a property brokerage. Real estate expertise also property without discussing the available agency options. Having think they are being represented. Licensees shall be considered to be representing the consumer they are working with as a designated unless there is a written agreement between the consumer and the sponsoring broker stating otherwise.
Rexis, I need an update. You are really taking your time.
Do you have any idea how hard it is to obtain an audience with these people? In a palace surrounded by chaos?
Tell them that the Inquisition is taking care of the situation. Now!
Compensation does not determine agency. A real estate agent does not necessarily represent the person who pays for a commission. In fact, agency can exist even if no fee is involved. It is called a gratuitous agency. In Illinois, compensation does not determine the agency relationship. Both the buyers and the seller's real estate agents are often paid by the seller in a cooperative commission arrangement. The seller first pays the listing sponsoring broker, and the listing sponsoring broker cuts the check to the
Recoil on clean!
for direct commission to be paid out of proceeds at the closing. Sometimes the seller pays only the listing sponsoring broker and the buyer pays the buyer's broker, regardless of the particular agreement. The licensee is required to disclose to the client the sponsoring broker's compensation and policy with regard to cooperating termination of agency. An agency may be terminated for any of the following
I have some splendid rumors for you, Inquisitor.
Do you know where the ship went?
What? Not yet. But these captains have some interesting stories about a Herman Van Winter. Did you know that he got his winnings on a rare artifact, a strange navigational tool of questionable origin? That's where all his troubles began.
I'm not in the mood for your tales. Get me to the Cavalier.
Aye, Inquisitor. By the time you're finished with the invaders, I'll have the coordinates.
Licensees are not allowed to obtain a brokerage agreement that does not expire automatically within time.
Teleport beacon in range.
The right to terminate the agreement annually by giving no more than 30 days advance written notice. An agency coupled with an interest, the agent has
Recoil on
An agency coupled with an interest cannot be revoked by the principal or be terminated on the principal's death. Example. A broker agrees to provide the financing for a condominium building being constructed by a developer in exchange for the exclusive right to sell the units once the building is completed. The developer may not revoke the listing agreement once the broker has provided the financing because this is an agency coupled with an interest. That's good though. If you already provided your money, then they can't just fucking say, oh, never mind. Somebody else will come and
Yeah.
That's it. Types of agency relationships. What an agent may do as the principal's representative depends solely on what the principal authorizes the agent to do. Limitations on an agent's authority. A universal agent is a person empowered to do anything the principal can do personally. The universal agent's authority to act on behalf of the principal is virtually unlimited. In Illinois, a written power of attorney is required to use a general agent may represent the principal in a broad range of matters related to particular activity. The general agent may, for example, bind the principal to any contract the property manager is typically considered the general agent to the property owner. Brokers and managing brokers are general agents to their sponsoring broker. A special agent is authorized to represent the principal in one specific transaction only under detailed instructions. A real estate licensee usually is a special agent to a client. If hired by a seller, the licensee is one of the property. Special agent for a buyer's agent, has a limited responsibility of finding a property that fits the buyer's criteria. As a special agent, the licensee may not bind the principal to a contract. The principal makes all contractually related decisions signed on such power of attorney and other of authorized carry out specified active action. Finally, the agent is a person authorized by the sponsoring broker to act as the agent of a specific principal. Person authorized by the sponsoring broker to act as the agent of the designation is only licensee in the company who has the responsibility for that company. The licensee is the company is a designated agent and others are free to act as the transaction. In this way, two licensees Designated agency is recognized in Illinois. A sponsoring broker enters into a brokerage agreement must specifically designate those licensee or affiliated with the sponsoring broker to act as legal agents of that client to the exclusion of all other licensees employed by or affiliated with the sponsoring broker. Specifically designated as legal agents of a person are not represented by the transaction. See figure 4.3 and figure 4.4. Also, a licensee shall advise a consumer in writing before acting as their designated agent that a designated agent relationship exists. And disclose the name of the consumer's designated agent. Is in figure 4.3 disclosure of buyer's designated agent. Blank sponsoring brokerage company herein referred to as the broker. Designate blank designated agent as the legal agent of blank. Here and after referred to as buyer. As the purpose of representing buyer in an acquisition of real estate by buyer. Buyer understands the agreement that neither broker nor any other licensee affiliated with broker except as provided for herein will be acting as legal agent of the buyer. Broker shall have the discretion to appoint a substitute or additional designated agent for buyer as broker determines necessary. Buyer shall be advised within a reasonable time of any such substitution or addition. Broker acknowledges and agrees that buyer has no current
recoil unclean.
Buyer represents that if buyer previously entered into an exclusive buyer further, buyer agrees to immediate buyer by continuing to work with buyer's designated agent acknowledges that the representation
Back to you, false emperor.
the sponsoring broker designated agent may disclose to the sponsoring broker specified by the sponsoring broker
Die, unclean!
for the purpose of seeking advice or assistance for the benefit of the client. Sponsoring broker
Reloading. Teleport beacon in range.
Statutory duties are provided only by that one party and principal. Choose that one party and principal. While it's represent both sellers and buyers, represent both in the same transaction. This avoids conflict and results in client-based business as well as sale.
Loading.
Do you want to go? You want to get up?
What is that?
We'll go stretch and get some sunlight. Get some fresh air.
Loading.
Okay. I'd say afterwards we can go vote.
You're disgusting. Fire agency.
I'll never vote.
Fire agency. Many licensees involved with residential property are discovering opportunities for buyer representation.
I shall flay you alive.
A buyer agency relationship is established in the same way as any other agency relationship.
Ready to fight.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. That's not
All
saying.
clear, Grexis. I'm still waiting for the coordinates you promised.
Allow me to express the gratitude of the noble captains with a piece of valuable information.
Do you as far?
Blast off. Ooh, man, my shoulders. Oh, my biceps, triceps.
We're not cool, man.
We're not cool.
His fucking mouth is just funny to look at. He's just looking inside his tiny little mouth hole. It's like all jacked up.
Well, that happens.
He's so cute. Cute kitty. He's like a little trash can. He has like a natural smell because he's fucking. His shit's not alive.
Yeah.
Let me see your teeth. Let me see your teeth, Daryl. Oh my god. That canine is worn down.
Yeah.
It's just like fucking. It's not even sharp anymore. Let's see the other one. Oh, this one's still sharp. It's just the one that's on the crooked side is not.
Yeah.
It's slammed down on too many things.
Bro.
but your crooked side, the side that's like,
It's gonna kick me off.
is he comfortable? Like, is his jaw okay?
Yeah, I took him to the vet and everything.
No, but like, does he chew and it hurts?
Not,
Does it hurt to chew for you, Daryl?
not that I know of.
I mean, we'll never know.
Oh my god. Damn.
Buyer agency. Many licensees involved with residential property are discovering opportunities for buyer representation. Some licensees have become specialists in the emerging field of buyer agency, even representing buyers exclusively. A buyer agency relationship is established in the same way as any other agency relationship.
Ow.
By contract, agreement, or
Daryl.
invocation.
Bruh.
The buyer's agreement may receive a fee
What are you doing?
from the buyer or share in the seller paid commission.
What are you?
To the listing sponsoring broker about
Cat.
on the terms of the agreement.
Come here.
In Illinois,
Sit down.
though not required by law, it is common for a listing sponsoring broker to share the listing commission with the buyer's sponsoring broker. It's not required by law, but it's pretty common for the listing sponsoring broker, so that's the person who's selling, to share the listing commission with the buyer's sponsoring brokerage. You fucked up. It's not law, but they're like, that's just like the right thing to do.
Stop.
Ow, fuck. Property management agency.
Man, what is going on with my internet right now?
Employ a sponsoring broker to market,
Running like
maintain,
crap.
or manage the owner's property. Such an agreement is called property management. The sponsoring broker is made the agent of the property. The agent of the property owner through a property management agreement.
No.
As in any other agency relationship, the sponsoring broker has a fiduciary responsibility
No.
as the client owner. Dual agency. In dual agency, the agent represents two principals in the same transaction.
What is going
Dual
on
agency
here?
requires equal loyalty to